And now it's time for the latest exciting episode of Doz's Television Workshop.
Hello and welcome back to Doz's Television Workshop, where today we're going to be taking a look at this Quanteq integrated test equipment. It's developed a little bit of a fault. Let's get into it. So this is a very useful instrument. It's useful for measuring distortion. It'll calculate transformer ratios for you. It's got a really good signal generator in it. It's even got a little oscilloscope on this digital display up here. It has issues. It's always had issues since I had it. I saved it from a skip. The display's got a few lines and pixels missing, but it's generally readable. But yeah, it's a really trick little instrument. And about a year ago, maybe a bit longer, it stopped switching on reliably. And I suspect what's happened, it's got a switch mode power supply in it, I should imagine. And yeah, I suspect that is now struggling with old age to want to start up. So we need to get the thing in bits, and it appears we've got security Torx there. So thankfully we have the appropriate tooling. So let's see if we can't get the thing in bits and find out what's going wrong. I don't want to power it up just at the moment because I don't really want to risk damaging it. It has been faulty, like I say, for a while. I've just noticed the fuse holders falling apart there. We ought to do something with that. It's not the fault because it comes on and it's garbage. The display just doesn't make much in the way of sense. So yeah, it's not just a complete off situation. So I suspect either the power supply is very, very noisy and it's corrupting the microprocessor as it attempts to start up and run the thing, or the power supply just isn't starting correctly. Maybe we've got a voltage missing or something. But I think a quick inspection will reveal everything. Right, let's see if we can't get into it. Ooh, sticky and horrible. Oh, there it is. It's got some stuff going on in there. A lot of very high quality parts by the look of that. You've got Xilinx bits and pieces and, good lord, a Zilog Z80. How wonderful. Looks to me like that display is electroluminescent. I don't suppose we'll get a replacement for that. And our power supply is down in the bottom here, which is where I suspect our problems may lie. Look at that, wonderfully built. Absolutely lovely. Fabulous piece of equipment. Right, how do we get this supply out? Let's get the cover off this side as well. I think I need to switch to the other type of driver. Speed my process along a bit. Yeah, there we go. Right, I'm still not sort of gaining much in the way of access to the power supply, am I? So, we have some fixed nut type things in there. Yeah, so I'm really going to need to drop it out of the cabinet almost completely, aren't I? So, remove the front and rear. Not quite sure how I'm going to manage that. Does it just tweak out? Surely not. You got any hidden screws? No. Not only that, that plug and socket are obviously underneath this shield. Well, this is going to be a quandary, isn't it? So I've got 3 screws in there. Can I get in there and get those out? I wonder. How does the chassis all come apart? Any stickers, labels under the stickers or anything? No. Oh, it's nut and bolted from the inside. Ooh, Okay, I think there is a screw in the corner there. Let's just remove the serial number and see how far we get. Oh, no, there isn't. There's another serial number under there. Okay. So, this is going to be a challenge to work on, just from a disassembly point of view. I wonder how they built it in the first place. So, there's even a block there to hold this into position. ENG Electronics Limited. Oh yeah, it does say ENG on it, doesn't it? I think. Oh, I don't know really. Right, I've got some voltages written on the power supply. We've got plus minus 15 and plus 5, so that would make sense. So even worse comes to the worst, we had to put another power supply in here. We can find something to do that quite inexpensively, a Meanwell or something. So right, just see if we can't get those screws out. I think. See if we can just squeeze a driver in there. Just about. Okay, that's one screw. It appears to be 6, I think, so talk amongst yourselves. And the last one has to be stubborn, doesn't it? Okay. Just seeing if I can date it, actually. You'd think there'd be a date on the Z80, wouldn't you? 1999. Z80 18010 VSC. It'll be one of their sort of microcontroller versions, I would imagine. Right, can I now liberate the power supply? It appears it's going to come away, the shield is going to come away and leave it on there. So I think the next thing to do, there are 3 BNCs going up into this board here. So I think best probable plan of attack is to, because these are color coded on the front, these BNCs. So I think what I might just do, it'd be easy if I took them off that end, wouldn't it? Yeah, they don't go in the same straight lines either. So that one is red. So let us just mark all these up, I think. That one is there, that's our red plug. Red paint marker on there. Got blue, which is that one there, which is the middle one. And that should be enough to reference it back. So we can disconnect those BNCs. Makes you wonder if they'd originally intended this board to sit some other way. Maybe it did in a different model or something. Yeah, that's the blue there. Coming off. Just realised I've marked the wrong bit, haven't I? That's red. Middle one's blue. Oh, they're marked X, Y and whatever anyway, which I think it doesn't bear any resemblance to the front. Actually, that's marked inputs channel 1 and channel 2 and outputs. So alright, let's got that out of the way. And we have, it's a linear power supply. it's got a transformer in it. I mean, it would make sense because it's a distortion analyzer that you want to keep the noise and stuff out of it, but I'm surprised. That does worry me a bit because I was expecting a switcher. So there's definitely something of a toroid in there. And I'm just not going to be able to lift that out, I don't think. Okay. Can I get... The answer is no, I can't get those out. I think I am going to have to somehow remove this bottom tray. So we've got 4 what look to be M3 nuts. See if I can get the nut spinner in there and get those off. There we go. Right. Am I going to be able to get on it? Oh, yes. Okay. Clearly I'm going about this all the wrong way. I suspect they started at the bottom and built up. But yeah. I'm going to hit another problem shortly. The threads in here are stud welded to the back panel, and there's 4. So I'm going to need to be able to do that. And am I going to be able to do it with the other brace pieces in? This might be a complete disassembly job, which would be catastrophic. Okay, have I got enough wiggle room to get that out? I don't think so. Oh, so am I going to have to remove the input board here to get those nuts out and then give me a bit more wiggle room? Okay. If that's what we've got to do, that's what we've got to do. There's some like mounting blocks there that are stopping me from removing the board or moving the board. It needs to come back to undo it from the connector, and there's these blocks supporting it, stopping it moving back. And there's just no way I'm going to get that out of there. How did they make you? Yeah, let's give it a real tweak and see if I can't persuade it. Oh, got it. I have got it. Whew, it's not nice, but there we are. Okay. Now the problem is doesn't seem to be coming away from the front. Have I got more nuts I've missed? Oh, I have. We've got another 2 in there. Oh, rats. Okay, let's slide that back in, because this one has been fixed with another 2 nuts right at the bottom. Ooh, right. See if I can't get on there. Oh, I'm in. After all this, it'll be something ridiculous and unrepairable, maybe, I don't know. I could do with a win. Got the nut out that time as well. Yeah, same MO. Ah, this side, there is only one, but I hadn't undone it. Stupid boy. The wiring of the main switch is all a bit in the way. There we go. This flexible drive's brilliant. Not often you say that, normally they're rubbish, aren't they? But this one's really good. iFixit don't really make rubbish. I've been very pleased with this kit since I had it. Right, let's try again. Just ease that out of there. and then out of there, and I have access to the power supply. Sort of. Yeah, that means fuse holder can change that while we're in it. So that's good. Can I now get the shield out? I'm not sure I can. Let's undo the mains switch. Undo the power supply connector properly. Then what have I got? Some safety earth can come off. Whatever that is. AC. Okay, it's black lead. And there's the other AC. Okay. And there is what looks to be like a very linear power supply. That's suboptimal, isn't it? So what have we got? 3 regulators, I guess. Yeah, 7815. And 2 adjustables, positive and negative. Okay, well, it is what it is. The bad news is I can't see any of that being a problem. Other than the fact the transformer's loose, that's not aiding and abetting things, is it? Let's just tighten that up while we're here. Right, let's pinch that up a little bit. Much improved. And I just can't see any of this stuff being faulty. Capacitors dated 1998. I mean, they are 25 years old now, aren't they? 26 years old. So do I beep round them all? But I really doubt that any of this is at fault at all. I will just have a look for dry joints. I have to say, some of the soldering isn't perhaps the neatest in the world. I'm just going to run over a few of those joints. They don't look as good as they could be. And maybe that is just our problem. Big enough soldering iron tip? I think so. That was definitely not good there. Well, the rest of it looks reasonable-ish. Not quite so keen on that one either, mind. Don't think anything else looks suspect. Yeah, that's I'm surprised. You can tell. I was convinced that would have been a switched mode supply. The beauty of it is being linear, of course. We can just run it up and measure the loads without any fear of self-destruction or fire and brimstone breaking out. It's very well filtered. Look, we've got these common mode chokes there. Rather nice. So yeah, the next thing I need to do really, I think, is just to power it up and make sure these voltage rails are in some sort of specification. Right, let's make that happen. Right, despite the fact I'm fairly sure this is not my problem, I'm just going to quickly whirl around the capacitors in circuit just to make sure that they're pretty good. It is of some years vintage now. Yeah. In circuit are leaky. Do I take them out or do I trust them? It's all the 4 that are in the same locations there that are reading in circuit are leaky. I just don't believe this is of such high quality. I just can't see it being the problem. Unlike the fuse holder, which is utterly fallen to pieces. So I wonder if that is just my problem. So that's handy as well. It's on crimps, so can I just pull it out? It's just fallen to bits. It's rotted away. And I sort of know why that's happened, because I know where this came from, and it was a very unpleasant environment. So yeah, it was in quite an oily environment, and the oil has attacked stuff. So yeah, I think the trick here is to change that fuse holder out. I reckon that's all the problem is. So let me go and find a fuse holder and get that done. Okay, this is a sort of box I keep of fuse accessories, and got a similar looking thing. Is that going to fit in my hole? Yeah. Okay, let's fit that fuse back in. So we've got a fuse going in there. I'm hoping that back nut's the same, because I haven't got a back nut for this one. There may be one in the box, but is this all that was causing my intermittent startup? Of course, when the instrument's been on the shelf, I've not been able to see around the back, so I wouldn't have known it's fallen to pieces. You can see where it's just rotted away there. Not a fault you're going to have in the real world, really. Let's see if that back nut fits up under there. Yeah, I think that's the same thread. That's good news. Right, let's put that out of the way for a minute. Okay. And get this back nut done up. Cool. Well, let's get it back into a stage where we can switch it on. The only reason I didn't switch it on as originally is I didn't want to cause any further damage. So now we know it's a linear power supply. I think they're fairly good stature. There's some dried up oil in here, so I need to clean that off. Yeah, it's looking a bit more pleasant now. Right, I think there was sort of residue on this power supply as well. Yeah, you can see it just shiny on the edge here. It used to creep in everywhere. Yeah, that's sort of got to go up in there, isn't it? That's earth, clearly marked. Nice and helpful. Let's connect to 1. That goes to the switch. Let's connect to 2. And that all sort of squishes up under there, under the shield. They really were paranoid about noise. Like I say, it's a stunning instrument when it's going. Right. Ugh. Let's get this rubbish out of the way. Try and get the power supply and shield bolted back down to the case. This is going to be exciting, I think. I wonder if I go with my flexible drive again. Try and find a... it was the posi drive ones I want. There we go. Okay, that wasn't at all frustrating. I think we're in a position now where we can try it out. Let me get an IEC lead. Okay. We have got power on, so switch on. Appear to have a lot of lights on the front, on the microprocessor board there, but I've got no display or anything. I don't remember how this thing works. I've got absolutely nothing occurring, but I've got all the LEDs on that top PCB there. It's got nothing anywhere else. Yeah, we've still got a problem, haven't we? Very much so. I thought this would be the case, really. I wonder if I just pop this top piece off here. In fact, that doesn't look to be held in with anything. No, it may well have been apart before. Just pop that out so we can gain access to that top panel. Just see if we've got activity on crystals, etc. Or maybe the display has just finally passed away because it wasn't in good health before. No, there are no nuts or anything holding that in, it's just friction, I think. Or maybe some adhesive. There's one nut right in the top corner. Pop the mains out. Oh, the other thing I've got to do, of course, is to reconnect these BNCs down here. Let's quickly do that. It's got nothing on it. That one must, and that's blue. Goes. That's blue, goes to the middle. This one is red. That one that's there. We'll go over to the other side. Right, there is one nut holding the top panel on. So let's see if we can get in there and get that out. I think I can see what the problem is, or at least one of the problems. Oh yeah, and can't I? So here's our display, but look at this down here. Ah, the cable's been eaten again by that oil I was mentioning. Look at the state of the insulation on the cable. This has gone like jelly. I'm betting that is part of our problem. Is that going to be a standard cable I can just get? It's certainly an IDC cable, insulation displacement connector, but is it sort of standard? Oh, it's horrible. You can see it's all swollen up and just corroded. Capacitors here have all fallen to bits. I suspect there'll be nothing wrong with the capacitors. I reckon it's just a tack. Yeah, look, it's gone like sticky horribleness. I suspect there's nothing wrong with those. It's just the oil has melted the plastic. Right, so I've got to set out now and see if I can find a replacement lead for this. Connectors are both the same, so it's just a matter of getting online, identifying that connector, and see if we can get another lead complete, or making one up. They're quite easy to do. You just snap the connector together. Maybe it's a new ribbon if I could get the connector apart in one piece, but yeah, see what I can find. Right, well, it's quite a few days later actually, and I looked at pricing up these connectors. I believe they're by Quanteq, and by the time I'd paid shipping and handling on these, they were going to be north of about 15 quid each, not including the ribbon cable, and then I'd have to assemble it. So I did think about just trying to pick them apart and changing the ribbon, but then I thought, I wonder what Amazon have got to offer. So I bought these. These were $5.99, ready-made, correct pitch. Not only that, but it was $5.99 for a bag of them. So silly cheap. Unfortunately, you know, the pitch and the connector shape is exactly right, but the Quanteq receptacle has very short pins, and whilst it sort of sits in there, it doesn't ever contact the pins because the pins are sort of further into the housing. So, I mean, obviously I've got a length of ribbon cable, so if push comes to shove now, I can try and remake that connector. But before I go mad with it, I just thought I'd see if I could file them down. I've got nothing to lose, so yeah, to that end, let's give that a go. Wow, making short work of that. Just starting to expose that there, I think, so just try again. No. I wonder if they're a little bit long as well. Let's take that edge off. This might be, of course, a complete non-starter. Yeah, does appear to be a little bit longer. Try that again. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, that's feeling quite positive. That might be a super cheap solution. I may want a daub of hot melt or something to stop them pulling out, but once they're in there, I think that'll be good. Right, same MO with the other end. Bit of a moment of truth then. Let's see if the instrument powers up. We got the screen on camera, we have. So let us switch on. Oh, we've got one of the rails appears to be missing. There we go. But different error codes. don't think these are indicating a rail because it all comes on and then one leaves. Oh, there we go, we've got 3 coming up. I did also clean this top board just to sort of get all the oiliness off it. No, we've still got issues. So are these issues now being caused by this lead being wrong? Different pattern again. Still no display. Let's just take that out. See if we get anything different. Still odd codes there. Right, something else I want to try. I'm just going to remove that lead out of the way for a second because I'm thinking that's pretty successful. Let me get my Pico extractor. Right, Pico PLCC extractor, because the other thing that bothers me, you can still see here there's some like staining from, I don't know, oil contamination maybe. So I'm wondering if these are just giving us problems as well. Cool, it's in there, aren't they always? Right, there we go. Let's just pull that out, inspect the pins, and yeah, they're pretty horrible. Okay, squib of deoxit in the socket and on the chip. Just reseated that one. Let's get our Z80 out. It might be easier just to give them a squib whilst it's in the socket. And then pull it out, push it back in again. It should just clean the contacts just by friction, really. Right. So flash. All that's in there. I'm not going to do that. Well, let's try that before we go any further. I need to plug the display back in. Four LEDs on. Still nothing on the display at all. If I remember how to switch an output on, we should get an LED on that would tell us whether the thing's actually working, wouldn't it? I can't though. So have I still got an issue with this display connector, I wonder? All the other components are soldered straight onto the board, so yeah, it's not working. Look, I've got plenty of these leads and I have got precisely nothing to lose. One thing I haven't done is just put a squib of deoxit in there. And one more time, let's give that one a go as well. One last try, and then I'm going to use a piece of ribbon off one of the other leads to remake the original one if I can. Interesting, we're getting those 4 LEDs on again now. No. Right, okay. So, I shall sacrifice this lead in an attempt to make this one good, if we can ever sort of undo. You can see the state of that cable, it's in terrible condition. Might not be the fault, we may just be shouting into the void with this one. There's a couple of little tabs to push down and that should, yeah, there we go. Well, you can see the mess inside. It's truly horrible. Right, let's peel the cable away. Oh wow, all oxidized and in terrible shape. You can see where it's almost like a scorch mark on that end. if damage has been done. That connector looks to be in really good good condition. All the pins are really shiny. It's just this one here I am super concerned about. Let's just have a little look under the loop to see what it's like. I think that's just tarnish, you know. I wonder if that'll just clean up. I think they're probably going to be okay. Difficult to say, isn't it? I mean, I'm chasing a fault, and if it's, you know, if it's not this simple, I've got no chance of ever fault finding in that without, I'd imagine, the manufacturer's at least assistance. But yeah, not an instrument I could ever afford to buy, I don't think. Right, well, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I can now see exposed metal, so that's good. Right, I am going to abuse this by cutting the end off it. In fact, I might just be able to pop it apart. How do these come apart? No, I'm just going to cut it. I want a straight edge on there anyway, so there we go. I've got enough of them. Right, so we want both connectors pointing the same way, so I'm going to go in this side. That should fit over there like that. Assemble it up that way. So ribbon cable goes like that, connector with the spines down, goes on like that, and we just stab the thing together, and the little contacts that just pierce the insulation, hence insulation displacement connector. So well, only one way to find out if that's our problem. I'm sort of holding it in place. Let's have a look. Oh, we have pixels lit. Albeit not the right ones. It looks like a sort of star field look. It was just the once. Yeah, I think we're in a world of pain, aren't we? The only other thing we didn't do was, of course, fetch that little IC out there. So, unfortunately, my lifting tool doesn't want to fit in there. Let's see if we can get something else just in there, just to tweak it out. Don't like, especially with PLCCs, if you break the socket, it's just horrible. Yeah, that ain't gonna fit in there, is it? Let's try with the PLCC tool again, the Pico tool. Just not able to get underneath the IC. Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. Oh, oh, oh. Right. Just give that a little birthday. Slot it back in. See if that makes the blindest bit of difference. Got our 4 LEDs lit and nothing. I suspect this has reached end of life. Yeah. What a great shame. I thought it was going to be a simple matter of a bit of reconditioning to a switched mode power supply. But as it is, we've got a major failure, and I got no chance of fault finding here. It's one thing, which end of this cable was sort of worst? It was at that end, wasn't it? Which is right by that capacitor that's got, but the jacket is just disintegrated on it. It's just through oil contamination. That's not a real issue, I don't think. Let's pop this memory chip out for a second. Just deoxit that one as well while we're here. You never know. No, sadly, I think it's had it. Damn. Well, unless I come up with any bright ideas, if you've got any bright ideas, more to the point, just leave me a link in the description down below, because I'm going to have to put this one to one side. I've got other things to be doing. So, yeah, leave me some suggestions on what we should do with this down below. Lovely instrument, great when it's working. Didn't pay anything for it, owes me nothing, but yeah. Doesn't work, and my attempt to repair it so far has come up with just blanks. So anyway, yeah, have a think, let me know down below, and until then, click like, subscribe, do all that rubbish, and I'll see you really soon here on Doz's Television Workshop. Cheers now, bye.
With a gentle hand, he brings them back in line. Every twist and turn makes the magic shine. Cathodes and the crackle of the tubes amidst the dust. They play nostalgic tunes, solder smoke, and the faint aroma of time in each repair. An art that's so prime. Where wires twist and spark, fix the picture, bring back color in the dark. Screens that buzz, it's magic on display. Old TVs revived in a brand new way. Circuit woes, but we're getting closer. Neon signs, they guide you to the door. Tubes and screens like you've never seen before. Pulses hum as sparks begin to fly. In this tiny shop, dreams are set too high. In Darcy shop, with a touch of love, your picture message is clear and true. In Does hands, pixels flicker back to life and stand. Microchips and vintage heart in a world of screens playing their parts. Circuit boards with stories to untangle. Every wire a promise as an angle. With steady hands, as Dottie bends the light through the lens, creating onyx nights. Oscillators, creating sonic waves, bringing back the charm of retro days. Capacitors and resistors. In Dozzie's touch, there's no misfire. Transistors dance to the rhythm of repair. Through the glow, feels like magic fills the air. Voltage pulses, the tune's melodic run. A symphony of sparks where the work is never done. In